A business needs to have a good reputation because that helps enormously with its ability to retain and attract new customers, with its ability to raise finance where and should it need to, with its ability to gain or new contracts or enter new partnerships, with its ability to get better financial loans or credit lines or expand its services and products on other markets. For a government, a good reputation matters dramatically in terms of its ability to get a much better country rating with regard to its ability to be able to bring foreign direct investments, with its ability to create very good business opportunities for its own national companies, and so much more. In terms of a charity, a very good reputation matters because everything is down to its ability to fundraise and to continue fundraising, because without proper funds to keep the charity going, which are directly related to that charity's reputation, everything that it stands for or is trying to do will completely turn into ashes. Reputation can be a commodity, but reputation can also be an aspiration that each and every one of our employers or clients should work towards. It's something that can be maintained, and it takes a lot of hard work and dedication to keep it in a good stead. There are four major reputation building blocks that all of us must be aware of and must constantly ensure that we are keeping a very close eye on. It's the clients of any business or of any charity, or the voters or the donors to any political party. The clients must be kept happy at all time, and they must always be rewarded for their custom, for their loyalty, and for their ability to make your business and your organization grow. Employees are very often, and I'm saying this with great sadness, an overlooked category of stakeholders. Everyone likes to talk about the employees, how they are ambassadors, how they are assets, how they are appreciated, employee program this, employee program that. But very few businesses actually talk to their employees, talk to those their employees have the ability to influence, and get to the actual gist of what it is their own people think about the organization and what they believe the organization could do better and fix. We are talking also about the reputation that the general members of the public think that your organization has, because they view things completely differently from your employees or from the client's perspective. The members of the public generally do not have the tendency to perform a very deep critical analysis on how your business is going, your growth prospects, your forecast for growth, your past growth trajectories, etc. They simply decide in under probably less than 5 or 6 seconds whether they like you or not, or whether they trust you or not. Investors, on the other hand, are critical when it comes to your ability to maintain a good reputation, because without a good reputation, you are not going to attract not just investments and investors, but the right investor for your business. For an investor and from a financial perspective, your viability as an investable product, if I may call you so, comes pretty much down to how many times you are going to be able to return or make a return on their investment? How profitable are you? How well your product development pipeline is, your systems and procedures as well, and first and foremost, how strong your governance systems are, because every business, every serious business is run by a set of very clear and highly enforceable governance principles. If you don't have any, or if you do, but they are just a matter of a literature exercise, i.e. something that's to be found on paper but not in reality, then you may want to reconsider that very quickly. Perceptions matter, and they matter because the clients, just like the employees, ask a series of questions. Questions which you must have a very good answer to, or questions whose answers are readily available from what we would call open or public sources. What matters to clients does not necessarily matter to employees, and vice versa, because everyone perceives someone else's reputation through their own lens of interest and through their own ability to make a judgment with regard to their involvement with your business and your organization. When it comes to the public and the investors, we are often talking in the world of corporate affairs and public relations about sentiment analysis, about perception analysis, about social media sentiment, etc., etc. Those matter, but they only matter largely at surface level. The public dissent, however, and of course primarily depending on what it is that your business or your organization does, the public's voice becomes very important when you do something that upsets the fabric of the societal culture. And what I mean by this, if for instance your activities infringe on human rights in a country that's highly democratic, or if your activities cause a high level of pollution or national upset, or if you are being outright impolite and disrespectful to a people's customs, behaviors, way of life, then the public becomes your most crucial, if I may call it so, reputation pillar. Investors, on the other hand, as I mentioned earlier, are those who may help, because not all of you may need investors, not all of you work for listed businesses. They become crucial when you need to scale, when you need to grow as a small business, or when you need additional funds and you need them very quickly as an established business. There are various layers of finance that's accessible to everyone, but those layers are not the topic of today's presentation. There are financial considerations attached to reputation. If anyone is telling you anything else, please do not believe it, because at the end of the day, everything comes down to money, comes down to the organization's ability to raise money and to make money and to keep its investors and shareholders happy. The moment your reputation declines for a variety of reasons for which or in which the investors may or may not be interested in, then you would affect your financial performance. When your financial performance is negatively affected, then you are starting to enter some very deep, dark, and dangerous waters. This may surprise you, but a determinant, or the most important determinant of corporate reputation, is the financial performance of a business. And I hope I do not have to explain in too many detail why that is, because without a good financial performance, without being a profitable business, without being able to keep your investors happy, without having very good products or services, because if you do not sell what you have, then of course you cannot be a profitable business. All of these matter enormously when it comes to determining your corporate reputation, your business, your employers, etc. Understand that emotional appeal and trust are critical when it comes to reputation as well. But in the case of a new business, startup, irrespective of the type of the startup, they haven't accumulated enough emotional appeal for people to trust them, to believe in them, to invest in them, to buy from them. So therefore, depending on the stage of your business or of your organization, you have to pay utmost attention to that category which applies to you. My advice would be to forget or not pay too much importance on or consideration to the vision and leadership of the business. The reason I'm saying that is today, unfortunately, everything that anyone wanted to be said has been said. Words are no longer trusted, statements even less so. Aspirations which are larger than life are becoming laughable. Today, it's all about your ability to prove that your product works, that it works better than other products, that the price point that you have for your product is very competitive, or that your service is amazing, your customer service is out of this world, you have returning customers, loyalty programs, etc., etc. However, do remember that everything starts and ends with money. There are clear, absolutely clear effects of any reputation damaging event. We are starting with the customer's perception on your business or your organization and taking their business elsewhere. We are talking about you potentially losing some very good and talented employees, let alone the fact that you may not be able to attract the right caliber of employees that you may be looking for. Investors may revise their estimates with regard to your business. They may pull their finance sooner than it's due. They may no longer be willing to offer you extended loan conditions or credit lines, etc. Your suppliers may decide that because of your reputation taking such a severe hit, they no longer want to be associated with you. So there are absolutely clear and immediate effects when it comes to events that can damage your reputation. It's taken me a very long time to understand that online is not real life. And what I mean by this, online is a construct. The online world that we spend so much time in is a world that pretty much I would call it our virtual reality. And the virtual reality that people spend more and more time in is starting to dramatically affect the reality on the ground. So if there are enough bot farms out there, or if someone is intent on targeting your business because they see it as a threat to their own, or because they don't like it, or because they have some bone of contention whatsoever, then it's very difficult for the reality of your business, i.e. what you actually do and deliver as a business, to fight the myriad of opinions and sentiments that are against you online. So be very careful and understand that you must respond and react to everything immediately. However, there are times and there are moments when the best response is silence. It is therefore critical that before you take a decision to respond or to react to something, go and speak with your legal team, go and speak with the business development team, with the financial analysts, etc. Because not everything is what it seems. Sometimes, depending on the nature and the geographical extent or the geopolitical implications of your business, you are part of a game which is much bigger than your product is not working or your service was rubbish. You have to understand what started it, where does it stem from, and primarily, where is it going? Because if you understand the destination of this negative reputation attack against you, you may be able to very easily understand how to counteract it. This is a formula regarding the financial cost of reputation, a formula which I'm making available to you all, which by all means feel free to use whenever you want and whenever you wish. It's not rocket science, it's financial common sense and business common sense, because we need to understand that the bigger a business is, the more clients and the more markets that particular business is present in, and the higher the severity of the reputational event that's happening to the business, we can come up with a pretty conservative number with regard to the financial cost of that reputational event. The financial cost does not need to happen. If measures are put in place, if the right steps are taken at the right time, that loss, financial loss, may not happen whatsoever. But you have to be aware that the ultimate cost of that reputation damaging event or those reputational issues will be this. And this formula, which is, as I said, very simple and very clear, will demonstrate that pretty much, depending on the severity of the event, you may lose the entire portion of the business that was generated by those markets and by those clients in those markets. How much is the value of that, and how much are you left with in your other part of the business if you are to lose this? So, is it worth counteracting? Is it worth working towards fixing it very quickly and as well as possible? Is it worth doing this? So at all times you have to put into balance what would be the actual cost of the financial of the reputation damaging event versus what would be the actual cost of doing something to fix it. And you will find almost always that it's much more worth fixing something at a much lower financial cost than letting it all go down to drain and your business sometimes, or probably more often than we would like, suffering irreparable losses. A reputation is something that it's not one-off. It's something that you have to work on all the time. Do it wisely. Do it pragmatically. Be mindful of the players around you at all times and understand where you fit in the bigger picture. Then it would be easier, I'm not saying much easier, it would be easier to get ready and be prepared for the moment you are under attack. Thank you. I hope you found this presentation useful. If you have any comments, any questions, any disagreements, by all means, please feel free to comment in the YouTube channel or on LinkedIn or send me an email. Thank you.